Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Willie Jolly and my beautiful sidekick.
This is Dee, Taylor-Jolley.
And we want to welcome you to Happily Married Mondays with the Jollies. It is Monday with the Jollies. For those who don't know, we are Dr. Willie Jolly and Dee Taylor-Jolley. And
We're authors.
Authors of the book, Make Love,
Make Money,
and Make It Last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And we must say we are blessed to have a great marriage here. We've been married for 35 years, haven't had an argument in over 33 years.
a miracle.
Miracle. Miracle. It's been a miracle, and we're grateful. So we want to welcome everybody who's joining us today all over the world. People have been joining us from all over the world, and we're grateful. So we got folks joining us from New Orleans already. Give us a shout out to Forrest Charles Lambs from New Orleans.
Oh, how's
Terrence
the weather
Ephraim's there. Donna just jumped on. People are joining in. We've had people literally from around the world who are now making this part of their weekly routine to talk to us, to hear from us, to fellowship with us, to commune.
So we'll have a little fellowship, a little fun.
We'll have some fun. We're going to have some really great
and
time.
some information.
Some great information.
All within 30 minutes.
Inspiration.
So you can go to your next thing.
Education and motivation. Come on, somebody. For those who are joining us right now, we want you to do us a favor. Please do us a favor. If you would start a watch party right where you are. Start a watch party. Hit the button, hit the watch party. Do a share, do a like. Hit everything you can hit. Just start hitting everything. Hit everything, everything you can hit, and start a watch party. Like, share, and then make sure to tell people that we now have a YouTube channel, and we now are on IGTV as well. We're putting it everywhere. We're trying to do it every which way we can. Live stream television, and we hope that one day soon we'll be going to multiple platforms, many of your cable networks, with a weekly show, Happily Married Monday with the Jollies, or Happily Married with the Jollies. So my bride and I are grateful for our opportunity to be with you. Now, let's see what we got here. Hopefully, the people who are on IG, hopefully y'all can hear us. I'm trying to do that. And for the people who are on Facebook Live, hopefully you can hear us. And we want to take a moment while we're getting started to give a shout out to our friend, Miss... we want to... Stacy N.C. Grant.
Oh, okay.
Right,
yes.
Stacy N.C. Grant. Stacy N.C. Grant asked us to be on her Faithpreneur conference.
And that was last Friday.
Last Friday, and I mean, we had a rip-roaring time.
We had a good time.
Had a really good time talking about the big 3 problems that break up marriage. Y'all know who they were. If you're ongoing: sex, money, communication. And we went deep, and we did a deep dive on the sex deal, didn't we?
I don't think it was such a deep dive.
People seem to like it when we talked about sex and what
we
men,
just shared
what
the
men
truth.
need and what women need.
We just shared the truth.
And about the difference between the microwave oven and the crock pot.
We just shared the truth. Okay, let's get to it. What time is it now?
All right, we got a lot to do.
All
right, so good evening to everybody. People are jumping in. New Jersey.
Oh, nice.
Miss Hollowell, Miss Stockdale, Brother David Robinson, my cousin, Charles Forrest Charles Lamb, Donna Shorts Robertson, and Terrence Ephraim Gray. So join in, and remember, start a watch party.
Okay, so last week the topic was communicates, and I subtitled it "Sweet Talk Your Mate."
Yes.
Learn how to talk and tease for more intimacy. And we simply said the intimacy is not sex. However, intimacy can lead to sex.
Yes, yes. Well, I want to take a moment to thank Miss Stockton. That just popped up. She said, Mr. Dr. Jolly, this man changed my life many years ago. I met you at a seminar when we were in New York. You told me about setbacks and nothing but a setup for a comeback. Now I have 2 master's degrees.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing.
Bless you. And thank you for sharing that. And we want to hear those kinds of positive testimonials.
Yes, and what are you doing now with 2 master's degrees?
Yeah, so that's
Let us
great.
know.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll stay. Okay, 5G. Okay, make sure it's not going out. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about what. Okay, let's talk about it. This week we
Well,
want
that
to.
was the topic last week was to communicate, and I dubbed it "Sweet Talk Your Mate," and we were talking about talking and teasing for more intimacy.
Yes.
In other words, different ways to get close to your spouse.
Yes.
And we were saying that only 5% of the communication is actually the words that you say.
5% is the
Five
words.
percent is the words coming out of your mouth.
Okay.
Right? 45% is how you say it.
So it's not just what you say, it's how you
Right.
say it and the impact it has on your relationship.
Right.
That's why we sweet talk each other. We talk good to each other.
Right.
We're always trying to be sweet to
And
each
some
other.
people are very sarcastic.
Yeah. Some people are.
They're very sarcastic, which is really, to me, it means being mean-spirited. So that does not make one want to be close or tender or anything else if you're sarcastic.
And you get close to me and you're tender to me and
Yes,
you're
I am.
sweet to me.
Yes, I am.
She's sweet to me. She is sweet to me. And I love this woman. For those who don't know, I would crawl over broken glass to get to this woman. And I told her one day, I said, if you leave me, I'm coming with you. I told her last week, I said, if you leave me for another man, I'm coming with y'all. I'm going to be in the middle of the bed saying, how you doing? How you doing?
So
How
let's
you
get
doing?
back
How
to,
you doing? Anyway.
we're talking and teasing.
Yeah.
And so then teasing gets to the other 50% of the equation.
Yeah.
So you got 5% the actual words.
Yeah.
You got 45% is how you say the words, the intonation of your voice and all of that, the inflection. And the other 50% is your body language. So you can be talking, but you're teasing in terms of the being close, in terms of the touching, in terms of holding hands. And the home assignment for last week was to hold hands.
To hold hands.
Every
Moses
day.
is with
How
us
many
tonight.
people
We
did
missed you
that?
last week, Moses. We missed you there. Now you missed about last week, Moses, about holding hands. How important it is to hold hands.
Because when you're holding someone's hand, you're actually holding their heart.
That's right. That's right. And we hold
It's
hands.
the first way to really get close to someone.
Yes.
To start to get sweet.
Ooh.
So the assignment for last week was to hold hands every day. How many people
it can turn
actually
you
did
on,
that?
folks. Let
because
me attest. It
the
can
sex,
turn you
the
on.
intimacy starts mentally.
She turns me on just by holding her hand.
Just by holding hands.
Yeah. You
Every opportunity we get.
You cute.
Thank you, dear.
We walking the other day. We were walking to.
Were we in the grocery store?
No, the wharf.
Oh yes.
And we haven't been out that much. To be honest with you, we haven't been out that much. So we were out because my son's birthday was yesterday, and we
got snow crab legs.
So we went and got snow. He wanted snow crab legs, and that's what we went and got. And we held hands.
Yes.
People noticed us holding hands. So anyway, glad you're here. And we're glad everybody here. Let's talk about.
So the homework. Let's go back. The teaching point. So the homework assignment was to simply hold hands as a way of getting close to someone. That tenderness, the intimacy. Long way before you get to sex. So that's part of the prep. So we said
you got the prep
every day
for the sex. You got to prep. So what we said last week, guys, that you cannot walk up in. You have to. Your wife been working hard all day, and y'all both tired. You come in the bed and say, "You ready? You ready?" That's so pedestrian.
That doesn't work.
That doesn't work
because it's more of a mental thing.
You got to be crock pot. Think crock pot. Slow. You start cooking it in the morning. If you want some food in the evening, or you want some action at night, you better start working on it in the morning. Hello.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
And so, holding of hands, remembering 5% is the words out your mouth, 45% is how you say those words, and then 50% is actually starts the physical, the touching, the being close to, and the like. Okay, that's 100%. All right, let's get quickly to a question.
What question?
Which came up on Friday, and you thought it was good to bring it up today. And the question is, and I summarized, I don't know if that person is on tonight or not. My fiance and I are having a disagreement. He thinks a wife should not work, and I want to work. How do we resolve this? So they're not married yet. So she was on the Faithpreneur call, which is really a great thing. So you can learn a lot. If you've never been married, you can learn a lot from being on a call with people who are happily married and people who are asking questions. You're like, oh, I know I don't want to go there. So what was your answer?
Well, my answer was to deflect to my wife because I know she got a very pointed view on this. But I did say to the lady that please get 2 copies of the book. One for you and one for your prospective spouse. And for those who are married, one for you and one for your spouse. But because we want you to grow together. And we told her that there's a chapter in the book specifically for people who are not yet married, for single people, to be able to give them some tools and tips on what to look for, some tests that we put the person through, that you'll know there's a 3-day test, a 5-day test, a 30-day test, to see if they're the right ones. Because what I told her was that the most important decision you will ever make next to your faith is who you marry. That person be responsible for 90%
I
of
love
your
him.
misery,
He's so very
or
diplomatic.
90% of your joy, or
He's
90% of your misery.
diplomatic. He deflects. He does all those wonderful things. I said, oh my God, run. Don't walk away from their relationship. Now, I said, now why? Then I explained why. Because culturally, they're in 2 different places.
Yeah.
So it is obvious to me from the little bit of information that we gather that he comes from a different kind of culture where it's important for him. I don't know if that's part of his manhood, how he was raised, that the woman does not work.
Right.
And if it is important for her to work, the question becomes, could she be happy not working? Is who she is, her being, is it tied up in having a career? And is that something? I don't know how they would resolve that.
You said you went right on in. You said, oh, she went in. She went in.
I just said it's not gonna work. That's my humble opinion. So now
that
we
ain't
have
work.
to back up and do the due diligence in terms of actually getting counseling if that is a big deal about the potential wife not working.
Right, right. Well, she said it very aptly that if you want to have a marriage where y'all are equal partners, then there has to be some give and take. And I want to give, I told you last week I had a bike ride to Mount Vernon last Sunday, and Monday night I tried to pull up this quote that my doctor had given me. I called him early this morning, and he was in a meeting early. He was at his doctor's office. I got an early meeting, but I'll call you back. He did, and he gave me the quote, which made me realize it goes with this situation, and probably goes with your situation and your marriage. He gave me 2 quotes. He said that marriage is God's way of ridding ourselves of our inherent natural selfishness. Marriage is God's way of ridding ourselves of our inherent natural selfishness. But then to go with what this lady said, I've got this issue, and many of you have issues that one person wants to say, I'm the man of the house. This is it, my way or the highway. Well, that's not a good thing. In the book, we talk about the #1 divorce lawyer in the Washington area we interviewed. And he said the secret to his marriage or with his wife of 50 years is sharing the power. Sharing the power. You must be willing to share the power. But that goes with that. With my doctor gave me a second quote. I want y'all to capture this one. He said, marriage is a never-ending series of compromises. Isn't that good? It's a never-ending series of compromises. I give and she gives. I don't.
But you compromise because you care for each other.
Yes, that's right.
And it goes back to the first one of being unselfish.
Right. Donna Marie says, I am happily holding my own hand until the right man entered my life. I love that. That reminds me of the lady, Donna Marie, who we were at a church doing an event last year, and it was a book event to talk about the marriage book, and we were going to sign books afterwards. And at the end, I told people to get 2 copies, one for them and one for their significant other and their spouse. And the lady rushed up. She was the first one in line. I need 2 books. Need 2 books real quick because my husband's on the way. I said, oh my goodness. I said, Dee, let's sign 2 books for this lady because her husband's on the way to pick her up. And she said, pick me up? No, no. I ain't got no husband. He on the way. And when he get here, I want him to have a book so he know how to treat me like you treat your wife. Come on, somebody. So, Donna Marie, we want you to have that same kind of experience. All right, bless you as well. Moses, before you say I do, that's that concern. Do I say I do? That concern should be taken care of, or it should be before it become a problem in fiance. You're absolutely right. These are things but many people don't know, and they don't know how to choose the right person.
But I think sometimes we're very anxious to get married. I would say, women,
yeah,
your clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And you're anxious to get married, and you overlook some fundamental things.
Red flags
and then you're
coming
stuck.
up. Yeah, there's some red flags that pop up, and you ignore them.
You are not going to change somebody. That is not going to happen.
Not happening. Don't do that. That's not a good choice. So we're doing that all the time. We are not trying to change each other. We are molding and compromising. I compromise. I said to her this morning. I said,
can you say it?
I can say it. I didn't want to. Look, I believe that the bed, why make it up? I'm getting back in it tonight, but I've compromised over the years. I make up that bed pretty. Ooh.
We have more in common than we have differences. But I have learned that for a lot of the differences, I have learned to overlook it or block it out. I had to work at that. I remind myself, oh my God, he's a wonderful husband. He does this, he does this. He treats me well. He's so sweet. He has all the right body parts that I don't have. Isn't that wonderful? So when you have just gotten on my last nerve, I remind myself of all of the good things, which makes me choose to overlook the fact that I won't even go there.
I'm not the neatest guy. Okay, I'm not the neatest guy, and she's the extreme opposite. She is a neat freak.
I'm OCD. Because he is not, and this less neat he is. I was going to say sloppy, but I'm not going to say that. The less neat he is, the neater I become.
Yes.
That's how I handle it.
Yes.
And I don't tell you that you didn't do that. Just come
but you
right
see,
behind
and here's what she does. I will wash the dishes. I'll wash the dishes after I cook. Y'all know I'm cooking now, right? Everybody cooking.
And he does watch it. Bless his heart.
But then I know she goes back after I wash it and she re-washes them. I already know that.
But I don't do it in your presence.
That's true. You don't do it in my presence. Let's see.
And I put the stuff away.
Let's see. My husband said, what should the wife do to prepare for the night, since you suggest that the husband has to start in the morning? My husband says, well, what should the wife do to prepare for the night, since you say that the husband has to start in the morning? Oh, well, you ain't got to do much, because husbands are microwave ovens. You got, you gotta talk and tease. You gotta flirt with them. You gotta let them know, Big Daddy, come on, Big Daddy. That's what you. And you don't have to. And you don't have to do much. He's like a microwave oven. Bing! I'm ready. It's the wife that has to warm up over time. That's why we say it's like a like a crock pot. But the husband,
it's much more mental. It's a mindset for the woman.
Yes.
First, it's a mindset which gets us to today's actual lesson.
We're going to talk about that, though. I'm glad you asked that question, but we're going to talk about how do you keep it fresh and how do you keep
That's what we're talking about.
That's what we want to talk about now.
Mm-hmm. Because the topic for today, the specific topic, is how you keep your marriage fresh, right? During the pandemic, but just how do you keep it fresh?
Anyway, that's right.
And it's more of an issue now because many people are working from home and they're with each other.
I want to go back in on that question because that's a profound question that she asked. What does the wife do? Let's be honest. Let's be totally honest. Y'all know that what we talk about here, we are a Christian couple. We're faith-based. I believe that we want people in the world to know that we love the Lord, and yet we also talk very openly about sex because 50% of marriages, even in the church, break up, and many people won't talk about the sex in the church because it's off limits. Well, we talk about sex. Now, one of the things we know is that as a man gets older, he doesn't have the same activity as he had when he was 20.
It takes longer.
It take a little longer. He might have to take some ashwagandha. For those who were a couple weeks ago, if you didn't see it, I had all the little natural lotion, herbs, that natural herbs you get at a health food store, ashwagandha, eleuthero, honey goat weed, and yohimbe. And so those are very effective. But you know what? Let me tell you about my wife. My wife will
initiate
and stimulate.
Okay. So let's be a little clinical here.
All right.
Clinical. So what are some things that the woman can do?
Yes.
Okay. In terms of your presentation.
Look good.
Okay.
Look sexy.
And so look good, look sexy.
Sexy, right?
For your mate.
None of that Grandma Moses.
And only you know if you have studied your mate, your spouse, you should know what that looks like. But Willie was very open with me. The first time I had on a flannel nightgown was when I first went in together, and I had on a flannel nightgown because stuff gets cold. And he was like, "That does not work." And I was like,
"That ain't
How am I going to keep warm?" He said, "I will keep you warm." I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." So I made adjustments.
Yeah, and that's been 35 years ago.
So what?
And I done kept it warm through the winter.
Yes.
So I kept it warm.
What is pleasing to the eye of your husband?
Yeah.
Women. What's pleasing to the eye?
Okay? Yeah.
And the rollers, and I never did that. The rollers and all the other kind of stuff, I never did that because that's not pleasing to him.
Right.
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 And does he like shorts? Does he like little tops? Or experiment? Ask him what it is that he likes. What turns me on? So, and then to start early to whisper in his ear, to go and rub up close to him and keep walking. To pinch him on his butt. He likes that. I go by and pinch him on his butt. Again, that's the talking and that's the teasing. And that's the little things that you can do in terms of preparing. And that helps to prepare you also.
And my son, I'm thinking about my son. That was very clear. My son said, he told his friends, he said, my parents still think they're knocking boots up in there. I know that. And he said, he's in his 30s. He said, my parents still getting it on. Because we love each other and we love the fact that the Bible says,
we like being together. And
that the bed is undefiled, okay? And you drink from your own rainwater. Yes. in Proverbs.
And we enjoy each other and we trust each other. Okay, so
all right, you got a dose of D or not?
No, let's get to with the 3 ways to keep your relationship fresh. I actually did the research on that.
And I got it.
And one is say thank you. That's communication, that's talking. It's called being grateful. Why is that important? Okay, University of North Carolina study found that expressing gratitude to your partner helps to strengthen the relationships. And by saying thank you is one of those ways that you develop a stronger bond. Isn't that something? And the study was conducted by this lady named Algoe, Algoe, from the University of North Carolina. And she said she has a theory. She developed this theory called find, remind, and bind. So you say, okay, thank you. I'm grateful because you did. Find something that they've done that you can say thankful for. So you find something that they've done. You remind them, you took out the trash, sweetie. That was so thoughtful. And then what does that do when you say thank you? It leaves them feeling good. Yeah. When you find, it's called conditioning behavior. That when you see them do something you like, like Dee said, I will clean, she'll say, oh, thank you. I love when you clean up behind yourself. I love when after you cook that you clean off the grease. That turns me on. Isn't that something? Cleaning the grease off. Let me clean some more grease. Off the stove because he's cooking turkey bacon. And I was like, honey, you leave a grease residue, things he doesn't see. So now he goes back and he cleans.
Because
And I
she
see
has
him when he does
conditioning.
it. And I'm like, oh, that just makes me hot. Did you clean the grease off the stove? See, it's so easy.
One of the things I gotta say is she got one is learn to laugh together. We learn to laugh together. We laugh together. She did not have a sense of humor when we got married, but we laughed.
Well, my father was a fire and brimstone, so you didn't vacation, you didn't have any fun. But
yeah.
There you go.
So that's another one. Okay, what's another one?
Okay, another one I had was kiss more. Kiss. Even if you're not in the mood. You say, well why is that?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a chemical reaction in the brain that puts out oxytocin.
Okay, oxytocin.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oxytocin.
Right.
Oxytocin. And it's called the love hormone. So kiss in the morning, kiss when you say goodbye, just kiss for any reason. And it helps to develop a loving, warm feeling.
Great.
That carries on for some time.
That's
Do you
great.
have a different one than me?
Yeah, I have another one.
What do you have?
I have another one. No, one is always kiss each other at good night, and we say it over again. If you got an issue that you're angry about, you had something, fix it before you go to bed. Let's fix it. Let's not take the day's problems to tomorrow unresolved, because tomorrow will have a whole new list of problems, situations, circumstances. So always kiss good night.
Okay, and then number 3, surprise one another. You say, why is that? What does that mean? According to the magazine Psychology Today, surprises can lead to greater intimacy, tender interactions, lighthearted fun, and it can act as a catalyst for a whole host of relationship building. Now, you say, well, I'm not creative. How am I going to surprise my mate? Here's some ideas. Record a short message. Say something sweet and send it to them on the phone. We have our phone with us 24/7 in the bed, even under the pillow. Get your partner's car washed. You can be practical. I'm very practical. Well, you can wash it, which is something that you've done. You surprised me and washed my car.
Took you to get gas.
Yeah, put gas in the car. Oh, that just something to say.
A way to say that, be kind to each other. I got it right here. Be kind.
Yes.
Look for ways so we have an ongoing contest. Who loves who more? Chapter number 8, I think it is. But who loves who more? We talk about it in that chapter, and we try and see who loves who more, who wins this. That one day I said, man, you won today because you did more for me. But tomorrow I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna do more for you tomorrow. And we have this ongoing battle of who loves who more. So
like I made you oatmeal. You were almost out of oatmeal.
Yeah.
And when you went for a bike ride yesterday and you came back, your oatmeal was made, but you didn't know it until you looked in the refrigerator this morning.
That's right. Hey, Vaughn from Kansas.
Thoughtful.
Thank you, Vaughn. You were on last week and I didn't shout you out. I want to shout you out today. And look, here's another one is learn how to apologize and really apologize. Say, I'm sorry. Say it.
Just you have to mean it.
Say it and mean it. I am sorry. I really am. I'm sorry. Wasn't thinking. And look, when things happen, you mess up, just say it. Get it out the way. Don't got to be right all the time. You don't have to be right all the time. I'm telling you, share the power. It's better for your love life. I'm going back to love life. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, everything to me reverts back to.
Okay. So remember, marriage is skill-based.
Yes, it is.
You can learn if you want to.
If you get the book, go to jollymarriage.com, get 2 copies. I want everybody who's watching and everybody who potentially would watch to get this book, get 2 copies, get the whole package, the book, the workbook, the audio book, and the live seminar 2 CD. It's a great package, and for those in other countries who watch this, you can go to jollymarriage.com and get the whole package digitally.
Okay, our homework, No dose of D. Your homework is say thank you every day for one little thing that your spouse does for you. One different thing each day that your spouse has done for you. So that means you're searching for something good that your spouse has done.
The Browns are in from New York City. Okay, Terrence said, you don't have to answer this nice. So why relationships are so complex? That is one that we will have to talk about because there's a difference between men and women and the way they are wired. And so we're going to talk about that.
The kind of households they grew up in.
It's a lot.
The value systems.
But because they are like that does not mean that you cannot find a way to live and love and be happy together. We are opposites. She is a neat freak. I am a.
But we complement.
We complement each other. And Jack fat could eat no fat. His wife could eat no lean.
To change each other.
We're trying to change each other. We adjust. Look, go back to that quote. That quote my doctor gave me. Marriage is a never-ending series of compromises. Do it now. We got to go. Go to jollymarried.com, get the free chapter, and also order the books. We want everybody to have that book because it will help your marriage, and it's a lot cheaper.
You can't have it. You have to read it.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot cheaper than that divorce lawyer
Jolly
that
out.
I told you about. Jolly out. We got to go. Bye. See y'all.